Hey there, welcome back. I thought we'd do another experiment with an AI tool to see if we can solve a problem. That's sort of the point of a lot of these videos, if you've been keeping up, is to go through some of the recent tools that have been announced and made available to us in the developer space and just see if they can solve our problems and how they work and have a better understanding of them. And that's what we're here to do now. So I thought we would actually try to make some changes, some updates to my website. And my website is just, as you can probably imagine, jasonhand.com. And this is really just a template that I got from Netlify, which is where it's deployed. Okay, I'm deploying it over here over Netlify. And I just used this template that was available when you first create an account on Netlify. Made life easy for me. I didn't really want to spend a lot of time designing a new site. I just wanted to get something going and then get some content in here. What I started it off with was an info page, which has got some stuff in here, including me, picture of me, some links to some different stuff. Up here at the top, we've got next projects. Projects are meant to be just recent things that I'm working on, whether that's webinars or speaking opportunities or my podcast, just variety of projects that I'm involved in. And there's a couple that I need to add to here. And then thoughts was really just an experiment where I've taken some previous interviews of mine and summarized them using AI and then broke them down into little sort of chunks, and it was an experiment too. I'm not really into writing blog posts and writing these huge things really that much anymore. But I still wanted to have some thoughts and opinions out there, so I was just experimenting with this. But I think I'm going to turn this off for now in terms of just a feature of my website. I don't really want to spend that much time on it, and there's just other things I'd rather do. This AI section of my menu takes you to some of those links. So I still want to have this AI or a link, something up here to the AI experiments that is this that we're working on. But I don't want it to go to this stuff anymore. And then in the DevRel page, I'd like to just change this so that it just says listen to my podcast. I don't want this stuff in there anymore. So I kind of went through it before I got on camera here and just jotted down some ideas that I want to do in terms of or take action on that I want to do to this site, including the main page. I want to take these featured posts off since we're going to be taking those thoughts. That's what those are. We'll make that disappear. Some changes to some footers. So anyway, long story short, I've got a file in here that is pretty much just a list of things that I want to do in the site, and we can go through them real quick. But my intention is actually to just hand this over to Claude Code, just the full to-do list, and see what it thinks and what it can do for me. Because in my previous experiments with Claude, I was able to give it a list of things that I needed to do, and it for the most part handled it. And those were actually, I think, a little bit more complex than what I'm having this to do. This is a little bit more, I'm intending to give it a little bit more generic instructions rather than more specific instructions. But honestly, I don't care how it gets some of this stuff done or how it gets any of it done. Some of it's just a matter of adding some new files and text. The one thing that's a little bit tricky that I'm curious to see how it handles is I've asked it in my notes here, let's see, add a new project page, update the DevRel page. I thought I had one more in here. Yeah, this is a good start. But if you're reading along here, I don't want to read all this, but remove the thoughts menu from the option, mark all thought takes as drafts and unpublish them. I guess that's the one I was thinking of. That might be a little tricky on how that does that, because if you look at the code for this website, it's Next.js for the most part, and there's a lot of Tailwind stuff. I really haven't dug into the code too much to see how it works, because again, I don't really care. I just wanted a decent looking website that was easy to update. And so anyway, what I want to do is just take all of this stuff from my to-do list and move it into Claude code. And let's make this just a little bit smaller now, and see what happens. So what I'm going to do is I've already got, if we look at our directory, let's first go into dev and then look around, we have this personal web folder, which is the code base of my code. We can see that over here. This is personal web. So that's the repository. I've already cloned it down into my machine. So we're going to go into personal web. And you can see it already detects that this is a GitHub repo. All right, and we can look around in here just to confirm that this is what we think it is, and it is. So what I want to do is, from here, this is the root of my code base, is let's summon Claude by just typing in Claude. And we've got some questions here. And let me make this just a little bit bigger so we can see everything. Do you trust the files in this folder? This is my personal web folder, and gives me some different details about that on executing code and that kind of thing. I'm going to say yes. And now I'm free to, let's make this a little smaller so everything fits. Now I'm free to start asking questions. So I'm going to tell Claude my intentions here on what I'd like to do with my code. And I'm going to paste in that to-do list of everything that we have. And then we'll just watch and see what happens. All right, so I have a website that is built using the code base we are in currently. I just reviewed the site and have a list of updates I'd like to make, and hope you can help me with this. That. Here is the list of things I want done. And I believe I can shift enter. Nope. I think I did that last time. Okay. At least it didn't start spinning off here. So let me copy the to-do list and paste that in. We'll paste anyway. Now that Claude knows what I want, we'll just sit here and see what it thinks. And what I think I'll do also is just open up VS Code and open up that project, bring that over here. We'll go ahead and do this. And a couple of housekeeping things we need to do here. Okay. Okay, so we have that ready to go, and let's just check in on Claude. Still transmuting. I haven't counted how many. Oh, hey, we just got okay, do you want to make this edit to a config file? Yes, and let's go ahead and give it permission to just do all that for the rest of this session, so we're not answering yes for everything. Giving up a little control there, but that's the experiment to see what it does without too much interaction and intervention from me. But anyway, I want to pull up, I guess I can just open up another terminal here. And so if we go in, and let me just make this bigger, and we'll look around here at, sorry, just looking at the list of things that we're doing. So removing the thoughts thing from the menu, mark all thought takes. I explained some of those. Down here, I wanted to add a new project. So recently I spoke at a conference in Pasadena called the Southern California Linux Expo, and I wanted to add details about that. I also wanted to, I found like, I have a little Etsy store link that I used for my podcast, but I've decided not to continue using that. So anyway, I'm taking that out of the links section and going to replace it with my YouTube link, since I'm starting to put more stuff on YouTube now. And then, yeah, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that was basically what I was trying to get at, is how many things did I give it to do? And the answer is 11. All right, so although it came back here with a list of 9 things that it accomplished, let's see what it has. I've completed all the requested updates. Removed the thoughts menu option. All the thought posts will be hidden. They're now filtered out in the get all posts sorted. Interesting. Added new menu options for Ignite Karaoke, which takes you to, yeah, hopefully. And then, great. I like that it adds a little emoji here. It's fun. Okay, so all changes have been implemented successfully. Does that mean, yeah, look at that. So the config file changed, index, bunch of files changed. All right. Let's just real quick take a quick visual snapshot of what our main website looks like here. And then I'm going to go ahead. I know I could do all this locally, but part of the experiment that I'm doing with all these is trying to trust it on what it's created for me. And I don't want to do a lot of back and forth changes. It's not that hard for me to just commit new code. That's what we're going to do. And this is Claude code updates. All right, so code's been pushed out. We can verify that. We come over here and just do a quick refresh. We'll see that a few files now have a now indicator. And if we go into Netlify, maybe do a refresh here, we should see that we've got a new deployment firing up. And this one will take a little bit of time for it to cook and build. Hopefully we'll see some different menu options up here. At least one more project listed in here. All of these featured posts should go away. That whole section should go away. And there should be some differences in the footer. We're just watching our build process here over on Netlify. Initializing step is done. All right. Okay, so everything looks like it has completed successfully, and we can open our production deploy, and look at that. The top has definitely changed. I think I'm gonna have to go back and tell it to remove that though, because I forgot I didn't get real specific on that part. Okay, and look at this. What? Oh wait, I think it's just that's the one I had already. I think, okay, because I guess it's true. I did have an article in there, a project in there, stating I was going to be speaking. So we'll take a look at it closer. But it did remove all of the thought takes. That's good. And there was a change down here, which is good. There was something down here previously. And now let's go look up here in info. It took my shopping link away and added my YouTube page, which is good. Great. And I don't see any real big changes in here, but I think also I might have not been perfectly clear on what I wanted there. I also was not clear on removing all this stuff. That was just something I was thinking out loud, but didn't actually put in there. It did get this part right. So just go listen to my podcast. Now I want to add some images in here. And now Ignite Karaoke. Oh, look. I think I wanted it to go into a new tab, but it's still fun that it did it. Now it just feels like it's baked into my website. And yeah, so we'll let this finish up just because I like seeing these pictures sometimes. All right. Technically that works. And then I bet you this one. Yeah, this works too. Sweet. I did want it to open up in a new tab. That's okay. And then this one comes to our experiments tab. Okay, so yeah, we're pretty close. I'll tell you what, let's just see if we can clean it up. Let's make a few more changes. Move the AI menu option. Leave the AI experiments. And then if possible, force a new tab to open when users click the karaoke vinyl viewer or AI experiments. Menu option. Now this is interesting because depending on how this is actually implemented in the code, it's not going to be a straightforward solution because to have some of the menu options not do that, some of them open in a new tab and some of them don't, is going to be the challenge. Now, I don't really want everything opening up in a new tab. I just wanted the karaoke, the vinyl viewer, and the AI experiments ones to open in a new tab. But if I can't figure out a good way to handle this and keep like the projects and the other stuff there, I may just move those links to a different place instead of having them as menu options, because the menu is kind of getting large. Excuse me, the menu is getting a little long. And anyway, but let's do this. Let's see what it thinks we should do here. Okay, you can see there. You can see there where it's got the target equals underscore blank in quotes. That's what you would put in like like a hyperlink to make it work in HTML. But again, I don't know that you can do that for all the menus. It'll be interesting because also this isn't just a straightforward like HTML and JavaScript app. It's a Next.js app, so it's JavaScript at its core, but I didn't create it, and it's definitely got a lot of stuff in there that I'm not using. Looking at these suggestions here, it's making some changes to some TypeScript files, which is more than I expected it to do. Okay. All right. We got an update. Perfect. I've now removed the AI menu option from the config JSON, updated the action component to correctly handle the target attribute. Okay. Added the target property to the link model in the CMS. Ensured that the link component passes the target attribute. No longer shown. Okay. Keep. Okay. Interesting. All right. Let's see if it's true. We'll pull our code back up. Oops. And we'll go ahead and add all this in here. Again, I know I could check this locally. If you're wondering, why is that fool not just checking things locally? We're just YOLOing stuff into production for these experiments. And I'm just going to call this more cleanup. And let's come over here and take a look. Do a new refresh. Oops, not that one. And now we just watch our deployment. Noticing some PHP in here. A little surprised. Okay. I think we almost there. And that should be it. So let's do a quick refresh here. And we've gotten rid of our AI link at the top. That's good. And then, and you know what? I'm just going to do hold down the shift key and hit a refresh here. Just make sure. And what we expect now for these 3 links that they open up in a new tab. Ta-da! Final viewer, AI experiments. Sweet. Okay. But not DevRel. And not projects. And not info. Just Ignite Karaoke. All right. So, what did we learn? We learned that we can pretty much give Claude a huge list of things that you want done with very little explicit instructions, and it's going to get most of the way there. Yeah. I feel like that was pretty much a success. Crash and burn. Yeah. All right. And this is what it was in the original shape. Okay, now we got, so it was 1, 2, 3, 5. Then we got rid of that one, added a few more. And I bet you if we just do a quick refresh over here. So there we have it. Now we've got updates to the website, and Claude Code helped me do all that in almost exactly 30 minutes. And I didn't have to write any code. Knew, you know, how to do all that stuff manually, but honestly, a lot of it's just going to be copying and pasting and duplicating files to start to use as a starting point, and then yeah, so it's going to be much easier moving forward to keep my website up to date just simply by creating a list of things I need done, dropping it into Claude Code, or a lot of them are going to work the same way, but just dropping all that in there and then letting it see what it can do. So I hope this video has been helpful for you, and we'll see you on the next one.